Hello, Barbies, Kens, theys, and them. So, welcome to Nicole Reacts, a show in which I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find, that other people help me find, and occasionally who find me on the World Wide Web. My qualifications for marketing snark commentary are that I've owned a marketing company for the last 17 years. In that time, I worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. So, I know a fair bit when it comes to online marketing, but also related skills like website development and search engine optimization. First of all, elephant in the room. Yes, I did color my hair. I understand you may have feelings about it. That's fine. I might experiment with my looks a little bit. So just warning you about that. But shout out to the folks at my local Sally Beauty for, I think, steering me in a pretty good direction. But I promise, no matter what the outside veneer looks like here, I'm the same Nicole that you love or loathe who talks about marketing. I will say one of my most recent comments was just this really condescending comment. But the part that made it like a little bit flattering was she said, when you get older, you'll learn. Ladies and gentlemen, I am 44 years old. I'm not sure how much older I need to get on the side of grifters, but it doesn't seem to be happening. So today's person falls in the found me on the internet category. This guy has spammed my contact form several times. So I went to his website and we're going to watch his sales video together. If you go to scalingroom.com, and I am filming this in June of 2025. So maybe if you go to this in the future, it won't look like this. But right now, this is what that site looks like. And as you can see, it's aimed at people like myself, agency owners, coaches, and consultants, making client acquisition predictable. And my favorite, though, is the sub headline of this page, which is if you're not making at least 50K a month, your system is broken. And I do appreciate the little animation that they put the behind the for agency owners, coaches, and consultants. It's a green kind of color that goes across it. So it's like money. So I'm here to tell you guys my company is not making 50K a month. So my system is broken. And I wonder what this expert is going to tell me all about it. It looks like there's going to be a video. So let me just kind of scroll down to that. Oh my God, he's so young. Okay, at least he's hosting his video on Wistia, which is basically a way for you to embed video content. A lot of people will just upload it to YouTube and make it the video private and embed it that way. But if you want to really put your course behind some kind of gateway, they will use these hosted video services like Wistia to do it. So I have no idea how long this video is. I don't know if it'll let me stop it once I start playing it, but let's check it out.
All right. So in a nutshell, basically the way this works, right, is we work with agency owners, coaches, and consultants, right? And typically these business owners are facing the same types of problems. They're spending too much time on manual outreach and have tried cold email, LinkedIn, cold calling, just like everybody else, but it didn't work. They waste time talking to broken, unqualified prospects who just cannot afford their services. They can't land consistent, qualified appointments with prospects who actually have money to invest. All their income is all over the place. One month could be 10K, the next 2K, making it.
Okay, I will say that these are legitimate problems to running, in particular, a small agency. When I was doing this full time, would meet with between 5 and 10 potential clients a week. I'd prepare a proposal, I'd send it out, and I was closing at the end on less than 10%. Historically, like before COVID and even during COVID, I was closing at around 25 to 30%. So obviously, you spend a lot of time meeting with people and then they don't become your customers. And then so you have to meet with more people. So I get spam emails in my inbox every single week promising, appointment setting, lead qualification, running lead generation ads, and, trying to solve these particular problems. And it's true, right? If you're doing custom services, part of what you have to do is meet with people and tell them how you're going to customize it. And if you're doing that all the time, it can be a real time sink. So I'll be really curious how he is going to solve this for me.
Impossible to scale. That sounds familiar. That's exactly why we built Scaling Room to help you finally unlock that predictable system for bringing you high paying clients without wasting time doing everything manually, removing yourself from the day to day tasks and cutting straight to what's working right now. And well, here's where we basically change the game with this simple promise, right? We legally vow to help you land at least 12 high paying clients in the next 120 days.
Legally vow. So we're going to enter into a legal agreement together. That's interesting.
And we do that all on a pay and results basis. If that doesn't happen, we basically wire transfer you $2,000. So We basically go into the red. If it doesn't work, we take a massive risk on working with you. That
So the promise is 120 days. So that's 4 months, right? 30 days times 4, 120. And I get 12 high paying clients. I don't know quite what high paying means to him, but if he's saying a 50K month is low or somebody just doing okay, then I'm assuming they're really high paying clients, or he will send me $2,000. I have a feeling I'm going to end up doing math later. So I'm just saying these numbers out loud so that we can remember them together.
that is how much we believe in this program. It's awesome. So we got the entire strategy lined out right here. We hand over every single framework, AI automation that is taking us to 125K a month inside our
So as you can see, he's showing a payment processor. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but if you want to fake these results, obviously you could just Photoshop them. What often these people do is they show the results in a browser window, like, look, I just pulled this up online. But in reality, since this is an image on top of a slide, I could really make this say whatever I wanted as long as I match the interface. This looks kind of like Stripe, but I can't quite read the URL here. I also can't see how long this video is, just FYI. So you're not missing some kind of progress bar. And I bet I get so many targeted ads after this too, but we're going to watch it anyway.
own agency. So you can just copy, paste, and implement everything that works right now.
But I thought I was taking myself out of the manual processes. So why am I copying and pasting? This is intentionally vague, right? So let's see what information he will give us about what this is.
And not only that, when you join, you'll work directly with us, the founders, to implement everything. That's the exact outreach method that brings us qualified leads, the proven sales process that turns calls into high ticket clients, all the tools, the scripts, the automation strategies that you need to scale fast. And we aren't just theorizing this, this is the exact same system that we use to build and scale our own business to 7+ figures. And the guarantee basically works like
His face keeps kind of glitching out a little bit.
we help you implement all of these systems into your business. And if we fail, we refund you and wire transfer you 2000.
We will refund you and wire transfer you. So, does that mean I've paid you $2,000 if you're refunding me $2,000? Or are you refunding me the money I paid and sending me $2,000 in addition to that? Again, it sounds like maybe this person's first language isn't English, but I'm trying to just understand the mechanism here. So I think, asking these questions is something that all people would be asking if they got to this point in the video.
Out of our own pockets. So that's basically it. I could break down everything for you in detail, but I value your time. And if you're interested in seeing how this could work for you, here's what you could do next.
Okay, so they're gonna make me get on a sales call to hear the actual process.
Just click the button here to schedule a call with me, and we can talk
Here,
briefly about this
where's the button? Hold on, I'm scrolling up to see. Nope, it's not there. Okay, the button's below. The book call button's below, but
to see if it would be a fit. This was Sabo.
okay. That's it. Okay. So let's read through and see what we can get. Help agency owners, coaches, and consultants implement the latest and most predictable client acquisition systems. Scale Room's Culture Deck. Scaling Room is a private program focused on helping agency owners, coaches, and consultants predictably sign clients and scale. A culture deck? Hold on. Okay. Let's our why. Your why should make you cry, right, guys? Core values, operational excellence, team dynamics, decision making, systemization, leadership philosophy. So, this can be a bunch of word salad. The best way for scaling room to thrive is a strong and clear culture. Our vision, a world where hyper qualified outbound lead generation is so easy to achieve that it becomes the default for every ag tech company. Okay, so agricultural technology. So, like, I'm not in the ag tech industry. I'm kind of not sure why I'm seeing this ad. I mean, I have had an ad tech client before, and they did give me my own like email address. Maybe that's how I got targeted. Our mission, fine tune a system to make it simple for agencies to sign clients predictably so that agents can achieve financial freedom. Okay, we all know what a red flag the word financial freedom is, right? Be able to support their family and loved ones, sign more clients, keep clients for the long run, become respected in the industry and a leader in it. Best way to do that is by staying true to our company values and making it the backbone of all our actions. Okay, so what are they? What are the company values then? No BS values. Many companies say they stand for their values. Okay, but what are your values? Actions speak louder than words. Okay, I understand. No BS. Our real values are shown by how the company we understand. You're you have core values. Okay. Just tell me what they are. Scaling team's core values. The Knights Round Table. We protect our customers and stand by each other in every battle. Create buzz. Everything we do should make our customers so excited that they want to tell everyone. Hard facts only. I don't know why there's a period after hard facts and a period after only, but we stick to the absolute truth in all of our data and decisions, no matter what. Search and destroy. We ultimately search out and solve tough problems. That's where we really shine. Keep long term focus, keep our eyes on long term goals, and never stray from our main mission. Do you feel like in reading these values, you understand this company any better, or how this particular tech company, lead generation company, is different than any other lead generation company you've ever run across? At Preach, CRO Preach. It's weird because I feel like the ag tech thing is something I wasn't expecting, and this CRO Preach is not something I was expecting. It's almost like they took a deck from another company. Crop Reach. Interesting. Okay, so he mentioned ag tech, and then in this deck, the slide we were just looking at, he mentioned CRO Preach, which is really crop reach. So I Googled crop reach, and this is what I found. So he has a subspecialty in ag tech companies. Sign 20 plus high paying contacts in the next 6 months where you don't pay. So he gave us agency owners 120 days. He's giving these companies 6 months. So let's watch this video and see if it's any different than the one we just watched.
I'm going to reveal the real secret to adding an extra $10 million in annual recurring revenue, all without worrying whether or not your newest client is going to leave within the next month or before the end of your contract. Sounds good, right? My name is Sabonaj, and together with my team at CropReach, we developed the CropReach system specially for AgTech industry that AgTech innovators can use to install to achieve predictable growth, maximize ROI, and boost adaptation rates. But before I tell you why it's so good, I just want to get a few things straight. There's dozens and dozens of companies in the ag tech industry just like yours. Do you really think you can beat them? Like statistically, what are the chances of you becoming the
Is there statistically a lot of lead gen companies that serve the ag tech industry? Also, probably, right?
next John Deere or even Trimble for that matter?
The next John Deere. Oh,
Very low, right? The majority of companies in this sector are doing the exact same things all the time.
it's like his background is moving like he's on a boat. Just curious if you also noticed that. So I'm just saying that out loud now.
And when it comes to scaling, they're just doing the exact same one fit strategy like everybody else in the market is doing without actually figuring out what is ideal for them. Everyone gets excited about the same types of events: Agritechnica, the World Egg Expo, and Commodity Classics, even though these shows are majorly dominated by the biggest players in the game or the companies who have the best ties with the sponsors. The second biggest mistake is relying too much on paid advertising and other forms of digital marketing when it comes to acquiring more customers. Well, why? Simply put it, Facebook, Google, the major players have all increased their cost of advertising.
But if you're in the ag tech industry, wouldn't you be looking at maybe like LinkedIn or some other like more specialized things? When I did that work with that ag company I was telling you about, one of the things that they were doing is geofencing around competing ag conferences. So, for example, if you attended the competing ag conference in New York City, they would be running an ad to people who were within 3 miles of the venue where the conference was going on, that kind of thing. So, obviously, if you're running a big conference and you're getting these players together, it's kind of a good place for you to find potential customers, and even if you're not going to be at it yourself, like, that's one way that you can target them. So, I don't his service must cost something, right? So he's like, one of the big things is you're doing paid ads. Well, isn't what you're doing kind of like a paid ad? I mean, really? But anyway, we'll let him get into it. But I think he's on a cruise ship because of the way it's moving, but also the way this deck he looks like he's, like, on a deck, kind of facing outward, and it looks like he's kinda high up. I think he's maybe on some kind of balcony on a cruise ship. It's just my prediction.
advertising by about 40% in the last 4 years alone. And don't even get me started on what LinkedIn is doing. And if you think organic traffic is going to help you, well, I hate to break it to you, but it's getting more and more difficult to rank on any of these search engines simply because they're all cluttered with mediocre articles that nobody wants to read from start to finish.
Yeah, and AI is also cutting into people's traffic, right? Like, when you ask Google something and it just serves you up a result without you having to click into a website, to Google, that's a win, but obviously to the website that it's getting the information from, it's not getting that click, so there's that too.
And you might be getting a few referrals each quarter or maybe each month. That's great. But are these companies going to help you become the tech company that you want to be? Becoming the best of the best isn't going to be easy nor smooth, but if you actually want to do it, leveraging the corporate system is going to get you there that much faster. And I'm going to reveal the magic behind the scenes. We
Good.
begin by closely examining your current strategies to identify any weak points that might be holding you back. Step two, we craft a tailored approach that directly speaks to the needs and concerns of the key players you're trying to reach.
Okay, so he doesn't really have a custom software solution. He's looking at your marketing, right? At your how you're currently generating leads and coming up with a custom approach, which sounds like he's gonna be doing, services versus this being an actual technological solution.
And step three, finally, we refine your interactions to ensure every engagement with potential clients is meaningful and moves you closer
Yeah, he spelled meaningful wrong.
to securing a long term partnership. All of this was built with you in mind. We don't just want to become another one of your partners, we want to become the partner that helps you scale to be one of the next big players. We want
I feel like it was really a clear day and now it's a foggy day on the balcony. So I don't know if he's doing this at a different time or the weather just changed really
to
fast.
become the partner that you enjoy working with, the partner that is solely focused on you. This system leverages our team's unique expertise in setting up outbound
So I'm gonna be their only client. They only take one client at a time. How can they focus solely on me unless that's the case, right?
infrastructure, all while fixing any potential leaks you might have in your current sales cycle. This system is entirely unique, built for you and your needs. There's no one fit solution that you can just plug in and use that's going to have all
But didn't he just try to sell me a series of AI and scripts and whatever that I would use to close my sales as an agency or a freelancer, right? It's really this is interesting.
all the same effects that our system does. You'll be able to close more high value contracts, achieve faster technology adoption rates, and even secure some long term partnership
Is it adaption or adoption? He wrote adaption, but I think he meant adoption.
opportunities, all while having a team of experts throughout the whole way while keeping your core values in mind. And there's one more thing
We know he's into the core
I
values.
want to tell you. And if you weren't as excited as I was today, and if you just want to do it yourself, there's an alternative. You can just keep on doing the same things you were doing, keep on attending the same trade shows, spending way too much money on paid advertising without seeing concrete results, and spending way too much money on potential
The alternative is you could just keep doing what you're doing and be a total loser about it. I love the sales negging that these people do if you decide that you're not interested in their product.
leads that turn into nothing. It might work out eventually, but I'm not sure if you believe in that. You can also pretend you never watched this video and just go back to your theme and keep on doing the exact same things you were already doing. It's not a good feeling, is it? Now you know all the secrets to adding an extra $1 million to your AgTech company and a better way to scale up and become an industry leader in the space. If you're ready to do it though, click the button below and schedule a strategy
Okay, the button is below this time, so good job.
session with us today, tomorrow,
Okay, it's getting darker. That's what it is because the lights behind him have turned on.
maybe next week. We aren't trying to sell you anything on this call. We are just trying to help the best in the industry. Click the button below, it's green.
It's okay if you're trying to sell me something. You're clearly trying to sell me something, or else why would I have to schedule a demo, right? I'm just really not sure. I'm just clicking on see the case study. Okay. Help an ag tech startup grow their annual recurring revenue in just 16 months. And then they got Land O'Lakes as a client. So it looks like they do some video producing. So there's, the camera, and then it looks like the guy has his laptop open. As of December 2nd, 2023, certain details within this case study have been redacted to comply with confidentiality requirements arising from the client's initiation of a minority buyout process. Before you do a case study, make sure that the client is okay with you sharing the information, right? Okay, so they've got a case study, and I'll just say this, like, I'm going to read a couple of these points. We're not going to read the whole thing. We partner with an ag tech startup focusing on precision agriculture, struggling with the typical challenges in the sector: extended sales cycles, difficulty engaging with traditional farmers, resistant to change, and low client retention. Their annual revenue was stagnant at 2 million, largely due to outdated sales strategy and an inability to connect with key decision makers in large-scale farming operations. The ag tech industry is notorious for its lengthy sales cycle and challenge of convincing conservative farmers to adopt innovative technologies. The startup faced the following obstacles: prolonged sales cycle. The sales cycle was bogged down by slow decision making inherent in agriculture, where the adoption of new technologies is often seen as risky. I feel like at three different times in the last like 8 sentences, we have heard about the slow sales cycle. I get it. Resistance to change. Many prospects were deeply rooted in traditional farming practices, making it difficult to demonstrate the benefits of precision agricultural tools such as yield mapping, variable rate technology, and remote sensing. Okay, so ag tech is like technological solutions to help farmers. Yield mapping. Okay, so like you'd map where the crops are, and you would measure what the yield was, and that would help you decide like, okay, how many, acres of, X should I plant versus Y. Okay, I get it. All right. There's technology in every industry, so I can appreciate that. But let's see. So the crop reach has exceeded. Okay. All right. This is a more detailed thing than I was expecting, to be honest with you. Okay. This is a solid case study. I will say, if you're dealing with these traditional industries, sometimes though, it's nice to have this on the page, but it would also be nice if they had like a PDF version of this that could be printed off. And this way, like, let's say that I'm the sort of CMO of a company or something, and I'm talking to the CEO. I might be meeting with them, and I might want to be able to give something to review that was easily printable. So yeah, if you're going to do this kind of thing, especially for what you think might be for a larger corporation, yes, have it on the page, but also have it as something that's a little bit more printable as well. Yeah, this actually isn't terrible. I guess they took this one picture of filming him, and it looks like the same guy. I think it's the same guy because we're just seeing him from behind. Okay. Call incentivizer. Okay. Sales process. I'm going to say this. This actually is the most detailed case study that I've ever seen on Nicole Reacts. And I actually think this guy might know what he's talking about. If I was in ag tech, I would totally book a call with him to talk to him. What I think is happening though is maybe he has gotten the customers that he can get in that industry, and now what he's trying to do is broaden it, which is why I am receiving these ads to grow my agency with what sounds like a much more generic offer. I'm going to go see if on the page that he sent me, if there is some kind of case study or similar that shows that he knows what he's talking about when it comes to marketing agencies. All right, I forgot about the culture deck. Okay, that's what initially brought me to here. Sabunagi founded Scaling Room after scaling two of his own companies to seven figures collectively. Collectively. Okay. Seven figures collectively. Generating 15.8 million in client revenue. That's revenue for his clients. That's not revenue from his clients, that's revenue for his clients. Okay. Drawing from his personal expertise, Sabo is now on a mission to help agency owners, coaches, and consultants achieve growth through the latest, most predictable client acquisition strategies and frameworks. 120-day roadmap. All right, let's take a look at this roadmap. So when it comes to marketing, you have outbound, which is stuff that's going out, right, from your company. Inbound, which is that you've put things out there and that's allowed people to find you. That's what inbound marketing is. Paid ads, which is obviously a separate category because you're paying per view or paying per click or something like that. And you have partners, which is like people that you would theoretically, work with. So maybe it's getting referrals from clients or maybe it's media, stuff like that. So let's take a look at each of these sections. Outbound. What I love is that he was saying, like, are you tired of doing cold emails? What's his first thing in outbound strategy? Sending a cold email. Other outbound strategies, cold direct message, cold call, and other. I don't know what other is. Maybe it's knocking door to door, something like that. I don't know that that's the case. I'm just saying, like, outbound is like you going out and, you know, and contacting somebody. Inbound, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and TikTok. It depends what kind of business that you're trying to get, which one of these might be more effective. If he wants to say you should do all of them until you see what's effective for you, I would kind of understand that. You could try them and then clearly like one or two of them are going to do better than the others and then you can just concentrate on those. Paid ads, Instagram slash Meta, YouTube slash Google, and TikTok. I don't I think unless you're selling a consumer good, I'm not sure about TikTok. Like if you had a TikTok shop, I would totally get it. Or if you sold products on your website or something like that. I'm not seeing necessarily a lot of like business use case stuff unless you're, I would if you wanted to sort of do that, I would just work with the influencers directly versus running TikTok paid ads. I would maybe pay for an influencer campaign, but that's just me. And then you have partners, right? The people you're going to work with. And I like how we're using outbound tactics to get those partnerships, but I guess you cold email and stuff until you find affiliates, partnerships, and an affiliate, by the way, is somebody who, like, let's say that you were selling, I don't know, markers, and I signed up for your affiliate program, and every time that I talked about the marker, linked to it, and sold one, you would give me 10 cents, right? That's affiliate. A partnership is more like, "Hey, you have a marker company, I have a notebook company. Let's get together and do some kind of offer of both of our products," or something like that. It's a little bit more equal and a little bit less hierarchical, I think, than affiliates. Then you have media. So that's I think more like traditional media, so getting written about in the Wall Street Journal or something. A joint venture, I guess this is where you would get together and start a product like, "Hey, what if we got my marker company and your notebook company together and we made a custom marker notebook that doesn't exist yet?" That kind of thing. And then you have white labeling. And an example of this is when you have a sales strategy. And when you want to sell it to marketers, you call it the scaling room. And when you want to sell it to ag tech people, you call it crop reach, for example. Okay, so you do these things and you use for your outbound leads, your inbound leads, and your paid ads, you create what are called lead magnets. This is something you've heard of before. It's basically where you give something away for free that your target customer would want. So, for example, with my marker company, I would maybe have an ebook about how to use markers in fashion design or something like that if I wanted to go after that group of people. So obviously, the people who would download that ebook are people who are aspiring fashion designers who don't mind the idea of working with markers in their fashion design. So they give me the email address, they get to download my free, fashion with markers guide, and I, in turn, as the company owner, get their email address. And then once you have their email address, you see that you have some other possibilities. So you can sell them a product, you can sell them into a community, you can an appointment setter is somebody who I guess like, if you want to book a sales call or something, rather than sending them to a Calendly or similar automatic scheduling system, they would, work with a person to schedule something. Newsletter, webinar, workshop, additional content, VSL. What does that stand for? Oh, VSL is video sales letter. Okay, I learned a new acronym today. And then unique system. So he has, for example, a unique system in qualifying leads for you. And then that gets put all these people, right? So you have their email addresses and then you've put them in one of these buckets and then you qualify them. Are they a good potential, for example, marketing retainer client, or are they not? And what qualifies them? I think you probably have to pay for that qualifying system. And once they're qualified, they get referred to a landing page. I think to this person, I am actually a qualified lead because I got referred to a landing page. So he sent me to that page on his website, right? And then from that landing page, it's like book a call or don't book a call, right? We saw on both the Crop Reach website and on the Scaling Room website, there was, book a call, or I guess you would get to the site, see the book a call button and not book a call, which is what I did. So not booked. What happens when I'm not booked? Hold on. I got to make myself disappear so I can see what happens behind me. Okay, I get put into a nurturing system. Okay, so I'm not ready to buy yet. So what he's going to do is he's going to send me more ads. He's going to maybe urge me to follow him on social media. He's going to find a way to kind of lightly keep in touch with me with some free content. And let me scroll down a little more. And in serving me free content, maybe he sends me to a free community, free masterclass. I don't know what freebies are. Maybe I get like a free workbook or something like that. And then there's social proofs. I start seeing additional case studies and stuff like that. So he's going to keep showing me that. And I don't think there's any way for me to get out of that as the person experiencing that. So if I would have booked a call, though, I get to a thank you page and then I get into a pre call flow and there's the sales call. And if I say no, I still get sent to the nurturing system. And then he has a series of things to sell me if he does close the sale. So at the end of all that, there could be a happy client. And if there is a happy client, that's how we get referrals. So as you can see, like this isn't really complicated. This looks like what most people are doing marketing wise, right? They are directly reaching out to people. They are using social media to, bring people in. They're using paid ads and they're also like working with other businesses or individuals, in the way of affiliates or similar, right? This is what everybody's doing. We offer them a free thing. And after they get the free thing, we try to sell them a paid thing. And if they're not into the paid thing, we keep in touch with them until maybe they're ready for the paid thing. There's nothing about this that's particularly unique. The one kind of black box thing that's here is the qualifying system. So, what is a qualified lead? Like, what does that mean? Essentially, a qualified lead is somebody who would theoretically buy something from you and they would be a good customer if you could close them, right? So, the kinds of things you're looking for to qualify a lead are they able to pay what you need to charge for your product or service? So, let's say that I had a lawn mowing company, but I specialized in large scale operations because I had one of those giant lawnmowers. Well, if my neighbor down the street only wants to pay 40 bucks to have his lawn mowed, my lawn mowing company probably isn't right for him. So, he's probably unwilling to pay my rate for me to drive across his lawn twice and have mowed the whole thing with my giant lawnmower. So, can they pay? Are they in the right industry? So most businesses, whether they sell products or services, sell them for a certain kind of person. Like, for example, if you're a makeup company, maybe your thing is, you're in that sort of budget price point and you specialize in bright colors. Okay. You're going to clearly run different kinds of ads, different kinds of campaigns versus somebody who is selling makeup to mature skin. So within makeup, we see that there's clear divisions even there. So can they pay? Are they the right kind of customer for you? And if they're a business, are they maybe at the right stage of their business to need what you have to offer? So, for example, this guy's offering qualified leads. So, most of us, when we start in marketing, we're getting leads, friends of friends, and we're working with them. But at a certain point, you've kind of reached all the people that you know and who are going to buy something from you. So, what you need is to find additional businesses, in my case, that need marketing services. So that means, okay, I need to reach out to new people who don't know me yet, who need marketing services. How do I find them? So then I'm at the right stage to theoretically need what this guy has to offer, which is finding you qualified leads for your marketing business. Let's go back and kind of finish what's on his website just to get a more complete picture of what's going on here. All right. And I'm going to click on the earnings disclaimer. You recognize and agree that we have made no implications, warranties, promises, suggestions, projections, representations, or guarantees whatsoever to you about future prospects or earnings. I don't know. I feel like you kind of did. Or that you will earn any money with respect to your purchase of scaling room products, and that we have not authorized any such projection, promise, representation by others. I feel like he made a promise, and this earnings disclaimer is walking it back. All right. And I'm just going to go across his website. Let's start with program. Man, he really likes these videos with the fun transition effects. I'm just going to hit join to just see what this says. Copy and paste what Sabo and Levi use to scale to 128K per month. This program is $1,497. We know that they all like to have prices that end in seven. No thanks, man. All right. Let's go through results. Let's see what that has to say. 500 plus happy clients can't be wrong. Michael 6812 says, started implementing DM systems on LinkedIn, text, Insta, and X for personal contacts in our lead lists last Friday. As of today, 9 days after implementing this, we booked 28 appointments and closed five of those, in total of $16,500 cash collected. Four paid in full, and we've got one split payment. So some guaranteed rev next month as well. Massive shout out to Sabo and Levi and the whole team at SR. Crazy start to June. Feels unreal. And then there's a fun animated gift, some fire emojis. That's good. Landed two clients back to back last Thursday, both closed on the first call. Okay, so we just have screenshots. I don't know where these are from. It looks like a social networking site, but I don't. One of these is like two beers reaction and a fire reaction and a crown reaction and a crystal reaction. I don't know where this is. If anybody's watching this and knows what website these are from, these green stars I think are Trustpilot, but I'm not entirely sure. I just don't know what the black background website is, like where that's from. But I like all the animated GIFs that are in the testimonials. Okay, so this scrolls for a while, so let's move on to freebies. Okay, so there's Beehive. So I can put in this is the free email list, I guess. And then we have about what we do. So from offer creation to appointment setting, deal closing, and automation, Scaling Room gives you strategies we pioneer to grow successful businesses across industries. Well, I mean, mainly in ag tech, I guess, which is fine if you have a. I feel like we're seeing a lot about Sabo, but not a lot about this Levi guy. And then let's see if they're hiring. Hiring. Appointment setter. This role is about setting sales calls with our ideal clients who are ready to join our program. You'll be equipped with everything you need to succeed, from qualifying leads to our proven messaging system that converts them. I'm just curious. All right, it's a Google form. We're hiring appointment setters. This is an opportunity to make thousands of dollars every month by remotely working a few hours a day. This opportunity is only available to one person. That could be you. Answer the questions below. If it seems like a fit, you could be invited for a quick 15-minute interview. And it ends in a comma and not a period. Okay, what is your name? How old are you? I think it's kind of illegal to ask this question in the US. I think people are allowed to ask this question to make sure, like, maybe that you're not a minor, and then obviously when you are hired, you have to fill out, like, employment paperwork and that has your birthday on it or something, but I don't think, like, for example, they're allowed to ask these kind of things in job interviews, but okay. Please link your Facebook, LinkedIn profile below. This helps us link your answers to your profile. What's your email address? What country you're based out of? Can you work US hours for a few hours per day? Yes or no? Can you give real life examples of a time you have been consistent and disciplined to achieve something you want in life? This is the most important question. What is the one thing you're super passionate about? It can be anything, no wrong answers. Please record and upload a 30-second selfie video explaining why you are so passionate about this thing and why you love it so much. Link it below. Okay, so I guess you would like make a video, upload it to YouTube, and put the YouTube link in here. I guess that's what you would do. Yeah, okay. I love how they're going to hire an appointment setter based on a 30-second video and a 15-minute interview. That sounds like maybe not enough time, but okay. I guess if you're hiring on vibes, maybe it's enough. Okay, so Is this a little bit icky with the financial freedom, the vagueness of the cruise ship video, and other things? Yes. Do I think this guy knows absolutely nothing about what he's talking about? No, I think he actually does know a bit about marketing, but he's also trying to sell like a $1,200 course, like with absolutely no preview or anything whatsoever. So I think that that's a little bold. But maybe this is the reason why I don't have a seven-figure business is that I'm not willing to do stuff like this. So yeah, I will say that I think he should change his slide deck and make it scaling room specific and not just reuse the one he used for crop reach. And I would fix some of the grammatical errors. And maybe in addition to that one very detailed case study, I would give people an idea of what content will be like inside the courses. But clearly, he's selling enough of them if he makes $128,000 a month. So he doesn't need my help in this. But yeah, that's what I would do. Anyway, I'm glad this guy slid into my DM so I could talk about him. Now that I've watched one of his full videos, I'm sure that now I am definitely in the nurturing sequence. Let me know if you want me to do a follow-up video in case I receive more ads and stuff like this from this guy. To be clear, I don't think this guy is terrible, but if you look at that marketing flowchart, it's not a new idea that you would do, you know, direct outreach to people through email or text message or direct message or whatever, right? That you would post content to social media, that you would also maybe run some paid ads and also like work with other people like influencers or the media or something like that. That there'd be various ways that you put your message out there, that you would offer people like a free resource. And based on how they reacted to that free source, you would either try to get them on a sales call or continue to show them free content until they liked and trusted you and then offer them the sales call again. Yeah, I mean, none of this, if you've ever sold anything, is unfamiliar to you. But what I'm curious about is his qualification system. How does he qualify leads for you? If it's how he qualifies his job candidates, which is he just wants to make sure that maybe I'm not a minor and that I can work in the US time zone and that I probably have a good command of the English language and maybe a little bit of selling skills and passion. If that is the extent that he qualifies leads for my marketing company, I don't know if I trust that qualification process, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion. Hey guys, editing Nicole. And the other problem I have with him, that I have with most of these people, is the income claim. The fact that you can, with a straight face, say if you're making less than $50,000 a month, you're not doing well running your marketing agency is just kind of bullshit. So that's all I got for you today. If you like what you've seen here, there's a whole Nicole Reacts playlist with over 100 videos on it that you can watch where I talk about marketing gurus and their various ways of selling things. You can check out the playlist on the YouTube channel, or if you're on my blog, technicalsupport.com/blog, you can just click on the Nicole Reacts category and watch everything there. If you have a guru, particular video, or even a content idea that you'd like me to react to, a good way to let me know is in the comments section underneath this video. Or if you're more shy, you can use the contact form of my website, technicalsupport.com/contact. That goes right to me. A good way to lightly keep in touch is through the email newsletter, technicalsupport.com/newsletter. You can see past issues there and sign up. So thanks again so much for watching. And remember, these gurus will just keep on coming. But the good news is you have a friend, and that's me in the marketing business, who's not afraid to call them on all their bullshit. Take care.